Good afternoon. How are you? This is Pamela from Blue Angel 777. I'm going to do a reading today. Today's Saturday, the 26th. And we have that opposition with Mars and Pluto today at 0 point. And we're doing a reading for tomorrow for this new moon energy that's in Taurus. The new moon alignment is at an afternoon. It's 3:29 p.m. Eastern time, 7 degrees, which is really significant. I've been pulling lots of sevens, that divine energy. There's a lot going on with Taurus. I feel like Taurus is grounding us from everything that we've been through since last September, with all the retrogrades, the eclipses, and this Mars and Pluto opposition. This is the third opposition. So I want to see what's going on with this energy, with this new moon. There's a lot going on. What do I have here? Venus is ruling Taurus. Venus is the ruler of Taurus, and she's in Pisces, and she's finishing up the tail end of that Piscean energy and getting ready to transition into Aries on April 30th. And she's still recovering from her retrograde yet. I believe, I'm not sure, but into mid-May or maybe it's the first week of May where she comes out of that post-shadow phase. So we're still feeling the retrograde of Venus. I was wondering about that. I was doing some research on this new moon just a little while ago, and that came up. I'm like, that's why we're still feeling this Venus energy. She's still in this post-shadow phase of this Piscean energy, which is completing cycles and really in that it's things deep within. We've had that massive energy with Mars and Pluto opposing and opposition. It's coming out of it a little bit, which I don't understand how, because it's still in opposition right now. But I do believe the build up until that day, which is today, was really intense for some of you. How many of you felt this Mars in Leo opposition with Pluto and Aquarius energy? How many of you felt that? It was supposed to be really a kind of a volatile, intense energy, especially since Mars shifted out of Cancer and moved into Leo energy. And then we have another energy that just shifted to Aries, which is Mercury is in Aries. And then, today we still have the moon in Aries, and Neptune is in Aries, and then Chiron in Aries, the wounded healer. But now that we're in this Taurian energy, it's kind of helping us to ground things into the physical a little bit, giving us a piece of calmness, slowing things down after this Aries, and really kind of grounding into the physical and how we want to do this, how I need to process everything that we've just been through. And it's Taurian energy is very can be stubborn. It's that bull, that stubborn energy. It is the feminine of Venus. So what else I got for you? With Venus ruling this new moon, it is still conjunct Saturn, which is consequences. And with Venus and the Piscean energy is what are transitioning things, what is coming to an end, and finding peace with it. So a lot of breakups are happening, a lot of ending of jobs, burnout, just a massive turning point of going within, following your intuition and listening to your divine self, in massive changes. And some of it was difficult. And we're kind of discovering, like, the choices that we are making now are intuitive choices. It's not from the mind, it's from the heart, really about self-love and awareness and making these big decisions in our life. And we're coming to the tail end of that. Some of us actually followed through with the decision that we made. Some are still following through with it, made the decision but didn't actually do the action yet of ending cycles, maybe transitioning from jobs, ending relationships, whatever that may be. But whatever decision that you've come up with, coming into peace with that, finding peace with that, and understanding the process and that would be the Virgo, or excuse me, Virgo. That would be the Taurian energy, understanding the process. With Venus and Pisces, she's changed. She went through a massive soul alignment and change with that Venus retrograde energy. And May 16th, she's clear. May 16th, she's clear with that post-shadow phase. And she's also conjunct the North Node. And that's kind of like, the North Node is really taking that leap forward. That Fool card is Uranus too. Is Uranus being in Taurus, is taking that leap and taking the best part of everything with you and cutting cords with all that old stuff and letting it go, that crossover. We've crossed over, and we've been saying that for a long time. We've crossed over, but really implementing it into this alignment into the physical. Okay, so understanding the life lessons, spiritual growth. What else I got? Okay, so I want to dig into this opposition with Mars and Pluto that had a T-square with Black Moon Lilith. She is, she was ruled by Mars and Pluto, which was really intense. Now I understand. With Mars and Leo and opposing Pluto, the opposition of each other, were the rulers of Scorpio, are the rulers of Scorpio, which Black Moon Lilith is in Scorpio. So that's getting into the, digging deep into that, the traumas and pains and that shadow selves. Really digging into the core of all of that energy and abuse, any of those things, and shadow work. I did pull some cards before, and I got the moon reversed, which is that shadow work within us, and really pulling that out. Okay, now I knew I was going to choke. Something with the throat chakra. Could be the strength card with the hand on the throat chakra. But giving us the strength to pull us out of that with Mars and Leo energy, and feeling a sense of relief. So this is a strong rebirth energy, a death transformation, an ego death, spiritual transformation, and really clearing that out and feeling a sense of release. And that's with Uranus and Taurus. Excuse me, I had to have some water. I knew I was going to clear it. So we're clearing out that throat chakra for sure. Getting in touch with our intuition and all that with that. Yes, could you feel the release? Uranus is sextile with 3 planets in Pisces. And that's, who's in Pisces right now? Excuse me. Who's in Pisces right now? We have the 3 planets in Pisces. We have Venus in Pisces, Saturn in Pisces, and the North Node is in Pisces right now. And that's our path forward in following that. It's liberation, it's change, and release, a strong release and let go. So, okay, so let's see what we got with this, what I got with this new moon energy. Taurian is patient because they're fixed. They're patient. It's a patient energy. So if you're feeling a lot of this fire to take that leap and do things now, Taurian's kind of grounding us into thinking about how we're going to process this and how we're going to do these things. So being more patient with and implementing those. They are determined, and it's kind of almost contradictory to determination, but being with patient. It's because they have to process it in the physical, how we're going to mold things in the physical, everything that we've manifested. Okay, so let's see what I got for you guys. I call angels, ancestors, guides, sending masters from 5D and above. I call the directions west, north, east, south, mother earth, universe, all my relations, and the elements fire, earth, air, water, ether, the winds, the messengers of the universe. And what do we have with this new moon, please? Tomorrow, Taurian new moon. What is in the energy with the collective, please? Standing your ground, Saturn. That's Saturn energy, the 7 of Wands. And Saturn is, let me see. what's the conjunction with Saturn? I think it's Venus. Yeah, Venus is conjunct Saturn, and she rules the consequences. But these turning point transitions, and she's helping us stand our ground against things, setting those boundaries. And then things that were holding us back, the Ten of Wands there. This is the 7 degrees, the 7 of Wands here. This conjunction with the sun and the moon are at 7 degrees. I think it's 46 seconds, which is 10, and ending with cycles. And is the 7 of the degrees is that divine energy there. But she's standing her ground, and she's standing up on the hill, and then there's the 10 of Wands of letting go of things, burdens, overwhelming energy. Could be overwhelming. The 10 is the change, which is really interesting because the 7 degrees is the 7, and you got the 10, which is 46 seconds, boils down to a 10 of ending things in the physical. And there's the chaos, the change and liberation, the 5 of Wands with this. This is Leo energy, the 5 of Wands. So that's that Mars and Leo opposition is still in there. So we're feeling that fire. And there is the 6 of Swords. Coming out of that energy, that rough water. So that's finding our peace. This is also for the collective with the twins energy or your counterpart. This is the only card where you two are together. He's got your back, and you're coming out of rough waters in this journey, this spiritual journey. And you're going into more peaceful, smooth, calming waters. And that's what this Taurian energy was supposed to do. With this, it's yeah, we're coming off the eclipses and the retrogrades and the, the oppositions and the T-squares and or the Grand Cross that we had with Black Moon Lilith. There's the Devil, interesting. Capricorn energy. The World, Saturn. Okay, so to me, that's again that Venus opposition with or conjunct Saturn here. Here is all that lower vibrational energy. What does Saturn do? It's it's completing those old cycles. There's the King of Wands, masculine rebirth. That would be that Mars and Leo energy. And then the 10 of Swords, abrupt endings. So with this combination of Mars and Pluto, the intensity of all that, there's a subtle energy behind this with this Taurian new moon is kind of finding peace and calmness with it. So there needs a balance there. There needs a balance of deception. Deceiving energy, that toxic energy, another 7. And there's the Trinity, the Vesica Piscean energy of being centered. So to me is an ending, there's the abrupt ending of the 10 of Swords with and conclusion. So what I was saying before is we've made our decisions and kind of have peace with it, but some of you didn't make those decisions, some of them didn't act on those decisions yet. And there's moving, there's traveling, there's leaving, there's abrupt endings in relationships, work, in your work, trade with the 3 of Pentacles, recognizing the deception and standing your ground against it, self-awareness and sticking up for yourself. Here's the King of Pentacles. So we have the King energy in the fire element of inspiration, passion, rebirth. That's that Mars and Leo. And then this Aries energy, we have Mercury in, I believe, Aries right now. Venus is getting ready to shift to Aries on the 30th. Yeah, Mercury's in Aries. We have Neptune in Aries. And then we got the King of Pentacles, this grounding energy, kind of the Trinity is just really getting grounded and centered with everything. And then we have the Empress, beautiful. Venus is ruling this new moon. So she's gone through a massive transition with this retrograde. And we're still in that post-shadow phase that's moving ahead. Again, I think was it May 14th, around there, where she's finally clear. And then we have Pluto getting ready to go retrograde soon, in a few days, I believe. But this energy here is, this is it all wrapped up. 10-10, an ending of old, beginning of new. getting centered and aligned in the physical with your work. And you know, it's the process of everything that you've learned and evolving here. That journey. We have the Seven of Wands standing your ground against this toxic, low vibrational energy. And then there's the deceiving of self-sabotage or being deceived. And that could be that Black Moon Lilith energy that's was with Pluto and Mars ruling that Grand Cross there with Black Moon Lilith and Scorpio. So there's a strong ending of this toxic completion with this Saturn energy. And wow, there's some big energies. I know this is a new moon. And then also we have this Venus, right? Piscean energy. She's changed, of course. And she's conjunct this North Node, taking the best with you. Okay. So this North Node is like letting all of this old stuff go. And that's kind of, before I've talked in my readings, where we're clearing out this old stuff and just taking what is with you, the best part of you with you, and leaving all that toxic stuff behind, or those hidden, deep hidden wounds, you know, from that. With Black Moon Lilith, she's digging into that core of that, and we're leaving that stuff behind. We know where we are. We're grounding into it in the physical and rebirthing this Empress energy. She's starting new into this Aries soon, in a few days. And she's rebirthing into this self-awareness and where she wants to be. She knows where she wants to be. She's made those decisions. And now she's implementing it in the physical. So there's some endings happening here of toxic situations, abuses, low vibrational insecurities, fears, ego deaths. All of that stuff is happening, especially with that Scorpio energy. Abandonment issues, feeling left out in the cold, any of those. There's a message coming in. Messages are coming in, and there's the foundation, the new foundation, the Four of Wands. There's the High Priestess, her going within herself, her inner self. The Empress isn't a physical. This is, you know, you have this strong feminine with that Taurian energy. This is strong divine feminine energy. The Empress is the number 3 of action, where she plants the seeds and rebirths everything she manifests. She nurtures it. She brings it back to life within herself. But this is listening to her inner self. This is number 2. Yes. So we have the High Priestess, and then we have the this is going within yourself. This in awareness with all this water signs and then here is her implementing and putting into action. Now she's rebirthing it. And so we have the High Priestess and the subconscious here of feeding her that, you know, that inner knowing here. The High Priestess with the 8 of Swords. Things that kept us stuck and bound. There's a release there. There's a liberation. And there it is, the Death card. That's Scorpio, Black Moon Lilith. So that's that deep stuff that was holding her back. That the High Priestess here, the Death of, and then the 8 of Swords of that subconscious release stuff. That deep wounds and traumas with abandonment issues with the 5 of Pentacles there. There's a liberation, there's a definite death of that. Of letting go. There's the death and rebirth of that. And here is everything that you've manifested in the physical. Planting the seeds is nurturing, loving, and watering it. Watering yourself, taking care of yourself, nurturing yourself. Beautiful energy, beautiful. Strong feminine healing here. If I pulled some more, if I dug deeper into this energy, we have Pluto ruling this, a massive transformation, which you have Mars in Pluto in opposition. Yeah. And there's the full Uranus here in Taurus. There's the Tower moment, Mars. So there, this is digging a little bit deeper. There's the Tower moments that happen and trusting in the process. There's the Hierophant, the Taurian energy, sleepless nights, anxieties, dreaming, and then there's the Six of Pentacles, the balance and harmony there. Okay, so there is the Tower moments and trusting the old foundation structures broke down, and Uranus here, the Fool, is taking that leap and moving forward. And there's the Hierophant, the Taurus energy. So a massive shift and change for sure. So we're definitely, with this new moon, just really clearing out all this old stuff from the past, like in all these retro, everything is just feeling that sense of peace with the Six of Swords here. There's chaos though. This is the outcome, meaning peace after all of this. But here's this Saturn energy here. You have Saturn, you have Venus, you have the High Priestess, you have the Death card for the Scorpio, you have Pluto, you have Mars, you have Uranus in here. I'm surprised I didn't pull Neptune, the Hangman, but I think we're coming out of that stillness there and really clearing and coming. There's something with the King of Wands that's masculine energy with completion of this old toxic stuff. He's looking into the cycles and completing the karmic cycles. He's looking into completing of those toxic cycles here. And behind him is the stabbing of the back, the masculine. So he's already realized, and now he's looking into the ending of that toxic cycle. The stabbing of the back is recognized. The clarity and the truth has come in with Pluto, the truth. How he was deceived, the masculine. Now he's more centered, and that's the 0 point activation in the heart space. There's the Holy Grail, the divine feminine. There's the masculine and the physical now, and then him rebirthing and connecting with his divine feminine here. Beautiful. A beautiful message. Wow. Yeah, we have the Venus and Mars, or, you know, Venus and Taurus is the feminine and masculine. I mean, she rules Libra and Taurus. Venus and Mars, excuse me. Let me pull the Oracle of 7 because it was 7 degrees and see what card I can pull for you for this new moon. So a lot of endings, death, rebirths. Okay, we have a card that wanted to come out too. The Rose's Kiss. I was thinking of the Holy Grail. I saw a video earlier with an apple, sliced apples, like slit, like thinly sliced, and it was made into a rose, into a tea. He poured a tea over it. And I was thinking, oh wow, spiritual gratitude, being thankful and grateful. It's beautiful divine feminine energy here. And then this card came out. A powerful move. The keys. You have the keys there. It's opening up a new gateway, I'm getting. It's opening up a new, you know, this new paradigm, this new world. It's opening up the doors for this new beginning. We have the Rose's Kiss. I want to read that one. And the Spirit of Gratitude, 43 down to a 7. 9, hold on a second with me. The Rose's Kiss is joy, experiencing pleasure, deep satisfaction, and enjoyment. Desires acknowledged, 5 sensory reality. I got a lot of my notes from Molly McCord, as you guys know that listen to me, that I study under her and Pamela Greer, I believe her name is. It's not Greer, Gregory. And she's a beautiful woman too. But what was I saying? Oh, she was saying something about connecting with the senses, the 5 senses. And that's interesting that this is showing up because it's the earth sense. We're grounded into the physical and getting connected. I strongly recommend getting out into the forest and doing some nature walks and things like that. But it is acknowledge the 5 sensory reality. Take a deep breath and center on a feeling of joy. Can you allow your senses to awaken and connect with your innate desire to experience all life has to offer? Pleasure is part of life. Let yourself surrender to it today. Okay, your five senses are aching to be engaged right now. This is an invitation to get out of your head and into your body. You may be a spiritual and intelligent being, but right now the emphasis should be on having a sensory experience. This is a sacred part of this gift of life. By being present to the sensual world, you invite an even deeper spiritual experience. Amazing, isn't it? Perhaps it really is time to stop and kiss the roses, stop and smell the roses. To be still and really embrace into this earth energy, Mother Earth. Okay, we just celebrated Earth Day a few days ago, also on the 22nd. And I do want to say to you that I was on an interview with Soulogy, Soulogy on YouTube, and you can go back and look at it. I was so honored to be able to be on that show. And I've been watching him for years. His name is Todd Medina, I believe. I will put it in the notes if I'm wrong on his name. But Soulogy, how many of you have followed him and listened to his spiritual, he interviews a lot of spiritualists all over the world. So I got a chance to be interviewed on there. I have it shared in my playlist, and it's open up to the public if you want to watch it. But that day was Earth Day. And what did I want to say? Oh, so I did go to the woods the other day, and I felt this strong whoosh of energy over me. And I've gone to the woods quite often for the purpose of a cleansing, knowing what I'm doing. I'm very aware. And I've never quite felt this energy like I did this day. So, and my guide said forest bathing. And I think it's a Japanese term. And I had to look into that, and I've heard of that before, but I just I've always been into I didn't know that there was a name for it. It's getting into the oxygen and all of that, but it's like forest bathing. I felt this shift. I felt this energy. It was beautiful, peaceful, really getting grounded. I took my shoes off. I was standing on moss, really grounding myself, and I could feel this beautiful energy. So really get out there and do that. One more thing I want to look into is the spirit of gratitude. Is the prospering power of prayer, communion with the divine, expressing deep gratitude as you move through the world, knowing that your prayers will be answered exactly as they are meant to be. And that's the Empress here, the Divine Feminine, with the High Priestess in here, of really going within yourself and doing the work and the healing and rebirthing and setting those intentions and manifesting that, and from a higher above, from a higher place, from your heart there, and believing in it. The kind of prayer that will prosper you and others today is one of deep, abiding gratitude. You become a magnet for miracles when you are grateful and asked to be a channel for divine purpose, divine abundance, love, and compassion. The power of Source is within you. Now is the time to awaken it. And that's what's happening. We're awakening that Source within you, that soul within you. We had that soul merge with Venus retrograde, and she is definitely ruling this new moon energy in Taurus, this strong divine feminine energy. So really a beautiful, beautiful thing. So she's blossoming. She's definitely blossoming here. And that Holy Grail, the Divine Feminines. I send you all love and light. Please like and subscribe. Bye-bye.